did you know the Food and Drug Administration has a rumor control department? How would you like to go work for the Food and Drug Administration, their rumor control department? How long has this been around? And what rumors are they trying to control? Well, the person that broke this story, I didn't even know about this, is investigative journalist Eitana Hecht, who is the senior editor from the Daily Clout. Good to have you back on the show. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. It's a pleasure to be here.
So how did you learn about this rumor control department? Was this something that you stumbled upon? How long has this been in place? Is this something new that the FDA is rolling out to try to combat mis or disinformation?
Well, in my opinion, they're definitely beginning to panic about what they call misinformation, just because, in my opinion, new media has been doing a fantastic job at combating the narrative coming from the FDA. But yes, I stumbled upon it totally by accident. I was scrolling my YouTube feed, and I'm actually subscribed to the FDA because I want to see what they're up to. And I see a huge boasting headline called report to the FDA rumor control department. So I clicked on it, and it was this really weird message about how the internet's going to go down and how quickly something like that can spread through WhatsApps and different platforms. And in like this boasting way, they were saying, if you see misinformation, please make sure to report it. Well, that is completely unacceptable. As an American, why is the government telling us to rat on our neighbors? This seems to be a repetitive theme. And I went to their website, fda.gov/rumor control. And sure enough, it's this whole page about how to identify misinformation, where to report it, where to gather other people who are combating misinformation like you. It's really egregious. And I personally made a little video on top of their video, just to highlight the absurdities and just try and show people what's out there and what we're up against.
Yeah, and we'll link to your article in the show description so people can go and see your video that sort of, I don't want to say mocks, but sort of lays out on your side the facts in the website next to theirs. But I want to play their video that you stumbled upon. They produced this. I mean, this is the FDA putting out this video, basically telling us, if you see rumors out there, here's how you control it. Watch this video.
Are you prepared? The internet is going down later this week. It's going to be crazy. Find out more below.
The internet is going down later this week.
The internet is going down. The real truth the government refuses to tell you. Previous account banned for sharing the truth. Wait a minute. This is misinformation. You may be spreading misinformation unintentionally. Confirm the credibility of a source before contributing to the conversation. To see how FDA is addressing misinformation, check out our Rumor Control webpage.
So that's a new video that the FDA just published. I mean, publishing this recently. And of course, we made a big deal about the Disinformation Governance Board that the Department of Homeland Security was rolling out. Once all of the outrage hit about this, of course, they walked it back. And we know what happened to Nina Jankowicz as a result of it. So is this now sort of popping up in other government agencies, this idea of disinformation and how to control it?
Without a doubt. And as I think we discussed last time I was on your show, it's this much broader global censorship industrial complex. And not only are they proud of it, they're continuing on. I mean, I posted that video. My video by far got more views than theirs did, at least on YouTube. And they're continuing. Even this morning, they posted it again in a slightly different format. But the same idea about reporting to the FDA's rumor control department if you see your neighbor or friend spreading misinformation.
And so I'm curious a couple of things here. What are they deeming as mis or disinformation? Because when you think about the amount of lies, the amount of evidence that has been put out over the past few years, thanks to the FDA and what information they have allowed to come out. What are they saying is factual information or disinformation? What are they providing red flags about that they would think are, is troublesome?
Well, that's a good question, but they're very clearly still railing against the doctors who participated in the Great Barrington Declaration early on. And we all know those big COVID dissident names by now who have really been helping people throughout the pandemic. And according to the official government rumor control department, it seems that they're still aiming their sights at the COVID dissidents and really, really rallying around COVID misinformation, anything having to do with the vaccine or early treatment, ivermectin. And it just seems to be like this broader topic of misinformation, but they never actually get into the details, of course, and debate on the merits.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. They won't allow it to. So I'm curious what happens when someone files a rumor. Where does that do? I mean, do we know where that information goes? Let's say I'm surfing the web and I find something that I find to be, offensive, or something that goes along away from my own narrative, that something about vaccines or something, and I want to flag this. I go to the rumor control department at the FDA and file a report. What happens with that report? Do we know where it goes?
No, I'm not even sure like where the actual report form is, but it's like a portal of all of their different social media platforms so that they can direct you to what is absolutely correct information. And in terms of filing the rumor control report, I'm going to have an update for you on that, and I'll let you know when I do.
Great. Well, thank you for bringing. I plan to follow that trail and see how far that goes. Well, I would love to know. Yeah, please let us know what happens when we file a claim that we've discovered a rumor and we're reporting it to the FDA. Thank goodness, the FDA is going to be on it to save us from misinformation out there.
Right. At least Nina Jankowicz won't be there to read all the reports and punish us.
Maybe it'll be her new job. We don't know.
Maybe.
Itana Hecht from Daily Clout, thank you so much for uncovering this story, and thanks for staying on top of it for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
And she does such a great job. Really, really great with this investigative work on her part. So thank you. And meanwhile, we just got an update from the FDA. Unbelievable this afternoon. And this is from the Gateway Pundit. Here we go. FDA now recommends that healthy people aged 5 to 65 should get only one dose of the mRNA bivalent COVID vaccine. No more additional boosters required.
I wonder what data they didn't use to come up with that. Given that they came up with this idea of two vaccines.
They love not using facts.
Where did that ever come from, right?
They love
and now
not
they're
using
saying
data.
One is fine.
So they were not tested on humans, only mice. The bivalent COVID-19 vaccines included a component of the original virus strain and a component of the Omicron B.4/5 strains. Recall, the reformulated bivalent COVID boosters were not tested on humans, only mice.
This is true.
Yeah. So, the FDA now recommending only a single bivalent shot, mRNA shot, no longer authorized for use in the United States. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine, monovalent, Moderna and Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines are no longer authorized for use in the United States.
All right, throw those in the trash. More taxpayer dollars.
Just think, age 5, children 6 months through 5 years of age who are unvaccinated may receive a 2-dose series of the modern Moderna bivalent vaccine.
Okay.
I mean, so what?
It just occurs to me right now that in all the data that we've gone through about whether or not the efficacy of preventing the spread or vaccine injury or anything like that, I've never seen anything that explained why they decided it needed to be 2 doses. Never.
No. Have you? Does anyone?
We've been pouring through this data for 2 years.
Well, what I'm curious about is how is this still emergency use authorization? I mean, that's like, I understand, like, if a building's on fire, a firefighter,
Sure.
Because it's an emergency, they can chop down the door with an axe. If they come back 2 weeks later after they've rebuilt the building, they can't keep just coming up whenever they want to and chopping down the door with the axe. The emergency's over.
Yeah.
Right.
At some point,
Well,
don't they have to actually then authorize this?
Yeah, the reason is because they can't. It's not approved. Like so it can't be on the market because it could not get approved with the data that was released that they wanted to hide for 75 years. Now, potentially, if that data wasn't hidden, they could have gotten approved, maybe. But also, there are other things that supposedly can help, and if those things exist, they can't get emergency use either. So that's why that's still being,
Right. Yeah, if there's other things that you can literally go to the pharmacy and get that have won the Nobel Prize, you can't use those things. Can't use those things because they won't make any money for the companies.
Well, we
and
can't.
if there was proof that they worked, they can't get emergency use. That's the whole point. Like those can't work, and it can't get approved. So the only way they can put it out still is emergency use.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.